Hello and welcome to MarkSharks. In today's video, we'll be looking at a tutorial on MarkSharks. We're going to be looking at the home screen. All the chapters in each class are structured in a similar way. Familiarizing yourself with the structure will make it easier for you to develop lesson plans and help you determine how you want to use our content with your students. Let's take a look at a few chapters right now. Currently, we are looking at data handling, which is chapter 5 of class 8 math syllabus. Here at the home screen, you can also refer the Wisenose section. Wisenose is integrated in MarkSharks to help students access more in-depth and relevant content to study from. It is like the Google of education that provides human and AI curated links from the internet. This chapter contains two topics: organizing data and chance and probability. We're going to take a look at the first topic and see how the content is organized here.
Sometimes when we are dealing with a large quantity of numbers or data, it is easier to represent the information visually. Let's look at the data gathered from some children about their favorite fruits. This table can be converted into a pictograph by representing each child with the image of the fruit they prefer. So with just a glance, we can easily see which fruit is the most preferred and which one the least by the children.
What you saw and now what you're watching on mute are teaching screens. These screens are where most of the theory is covered. The explanation generally lasts between 30 seconds and a minute per screen, and there might be a few screens in a row that students will need to go over. After the theory of a specific concept has been covered, students will have many opportunities for interactive practice. Let's look at this example and how to depict data using a pictogram. In the previous screen, students learned what pictograms are and how to change the scale. Now, students can actually practice representing data using pictograms. Students actually have the opportunity to practice and apply what they have learned. Okay, let's take a look at another example, this time from Maths Class 10. Right now, we are in Chapter 3, which is pairs of linear equations and variables. While this might look different from that of Class 8 which we just saw, you can still see that the chapter contains all the different topics as well as pre-test and post-test. Let's take a look at a topic which is graphically solving linear equations.
We have learnt that a pair of linear equations can be of three types. Let's understand how to interpret algebraically the type of linear pair two equations will form.
I am now skipping to one of the interactive screens that allows students to apply what they have just learned. In this case, students have access to calculate what allows them to solve linear equations graphically. So when I zoom in, I can see where two lines intersect. And on one side, I can see how I would solve this step by step. After experimenting with the previous interactive, students have opportunities for practice. This means they cannot move on to the next step until they have gotten the correct answer. Let's take a look at this. I'm going to look at my two linear equations. So I'm going to go ahead and input those values. Great, I can now move on to the next step. It's asking me to divide them, so 10 over minus 5 should equal minus 2. Okay, I'm able to move on. Now, I need to find the relationship between B1 and B2. I'm going to put in 50 over 25 and let's see what happens. I can see that I got B2 right, but B1 wrong. I won't be able to move on until I've gotten this step correct. So I'm going to go back and see what I did wrong. I noticed there is a negative sign before the 50, so I'm going to change that. I corrected my work and now it allows me to move on and I continue through the problem. This should be -2. As you can see, I went to solve the rest of the problem on my own. The guided practice here requires students to solve one step at a time. If they get it wrong, they cannot move on to the next step. This is important because it forces students to look back at their work and correct their mistakes. This allows students to get a little help and then continue solving the problem on their own again. If a student is stuck and can't figure out his or her mistake, he or she can always select Show Answer. On tapping the Wisenose logo, the topics list opens up. The topic then takes you to the list of available resources for that topic. Tapping that opens up a list of links from the internet that are relevant for the current curriculum, the current grade, and for the chapter. You can tap on these links to read the text-based content or play the relevant video for the content. You can see the Wisenose interface at the end of the chapter structure. And that's pretty much the tutorial. Pretty simple, easy, and self-explanatory. I hope this helped you guys. For more information, check out the helpful resources page on our website www.marksharks.com or email us at help@marksharks.com if you have any questions. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it helps you guys use MarkSharks to its fullest potential. Do stay in touch and like and subscribe this video so it can go out to other students and teachers, and see you with more content on MarkSharks really soon. Thank you for watching. MarkSharks, learning by doing.